I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to start afresh because you are not seeing my Excel sheet, and I believe most of you didn't follow what I was saying. So, okay, as I was saying, today we are going to learn about data analysis in Excel, and the learning objectives are by the end of the lesson, you should be able to understand basic and intermediate Excel data analysis tool. You are able to apply functions and formulas for data manipulations. You will be able to create charts and pivot tables and collaborate in real time. No, sorry. Okay, so first, we are going to install data analysis toolpack in our Excel. So I'm expecting you all to have opened your Excel, and I hope you are seeing now my Excel sheet. Are you guys able to see my Excel sheet?
Yes.
Okay, so you installing a data analysis toolpack, you click on the file, and if you have any question, you can use the chat box, or if in case you aren't seeing my screen, please, you can just use the chat box and let me know, or you can just raise your hand and ask a question. So you click on options, and then you click on add-ins. Below there you can see manage Excel add-ins, then you click on go. Then if you haven't installed your data analysis toolpack, this is what you can see. So for you to install, you just check those boxes and then you click OK. Thereafter, you go click on data to confirm if your data analysis toolpack is there. Once you've done that, you go to, you can now analyze your data. So I had some data here, that's the number of hours students study versus the exam score. So you need first to determine your independent variable and dependent variable. And I would like you to type on the chat box the meaning of independent variable and dependent variable. As you do that, about the number of hours students study and the exam scores, um, the number of hours depend on the exam scores depend on the number of hours students study. So the exam score will be the independent variable, and the number of hours students study will be the dependent variable. So when you are doing, let's say, regression analysis, you go to data, you click on data on that toolbar up there, you click on data, then click on data analysis. You can see some analysis tools there. We have the covariance, we have descriptive statistics, we have regression, we have correlation and all that. So you just click on whatever you want to do. So on what we are going to do today, we want to create a regression equation. That's about regression analysis. So we are going to click on regression and then click OK. I hope you are all following and you are doing that using your Excel. So you select the Y range, that's dependent variable, the independent variable. So our y is about the exam scores. So you select that range, and then the x, you select the number of hours students study. Then you check on the labels. That's if you included your labels on the ranges. And then under the output option, you can just select on what you want. Maybe we want the output range or the new worksheet or the new workbook. But on our end, we are going to select an output range there. And then you click OK. And then you can see the summary output. So this summary output still can give you the multiple R, that's the correlation, and then the R squared is the coefficient. I can see some of you have typed at the chat box centering. Thank you. So the independent variables, the variable that is changed or controlled, while the independent variable independent is changed or controlled in a study to test its effective of the dependency. And then the dependent variable is measured or observed to see how it responds to changes in the independent variable. That's a good trial. Okay, going back to our summary output. I hope we are all there. Yeah. So we have the ANOVA table. That maybe I will explain it on the next lesson about ANOVA. But our main concern today was about regression. So we need to create the regression equation, and from there you can see we have the intercept and also the number of hours. So to write the question, you write y. I believe you know how to write, because this is linear, so you know how to write the equation. That's y is equals to mx plus c. That's the constant. So the constant is what we are calling here the intercept. So y is equals to 2.7693 x now, plus 61.8377. So that 61 is the y-intercept. That's when x is 0. And we have the slope, or maybe the gradient. That's 2.7693. So I don't know if someone can just raise their hand and try to interpret that question. Anyone? Yes, Granton. Oh, anyone? Someone can raise their hands and explain that my equation about y is equals to 2.7693x plus 6183. Okay, can Maureen just tell us?
Okay, as
Okay,
X increases,
as X increases,
Y is increases by
Y is increases by
2.76.
2.76.
Okay, Maureen, that was a nice trial. So this means that when x increases by 1, then the y increases by 2.7693. So in our case, that means when the number of hours increases, that means also the exam scores increases. Okay, so
Yes.
that should be the end of our session today. I hope you have understood how to do data analysis, that's regression analysis using Excel. And the next lesson we'll talk about coefficient correlation and maybe about the ANOVA tables. And then I'm going to send you a screenshot, some data sets that you use to do regression analysis, and then your class rep can forward them to me by the end of the week. So anyone who has a question can raise their hand and ask if you have any question. I hope there is no question. So I'll forward the data set. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.